Yeah, Hare Krishna Prasad Mataji. Whenever you're ready, you can start Mataji with prayers.
Okay, thank you so much, Lord. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 45. Krishna rescues his teacher's son. Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, understanding that his parents were becoming aware of his transcendental opulences, the Supreme Personality of Godhead thought that this should not be allowed to happen. Thus, he expanded his Yogamaya, which bewilders his devotees. Text 2. Lord Krishna, the greatest of the Sattvatas, approached his parents with his elder brother, humbly bowing his head and gratifying them by respectfully addressing them as my dear mother and my dear father. Krishna spoke as follows. Text 3. Lord Krishna said, dear father, because of us, yours two sons, you and mother Devaki, always remained in anxiety and could never enjoy our childhood, boyhood, or youth. Text 4. Deprived by fate, we could not live with you and enjoy the pampered happiness most children enjoy in their parents' home. Text 5. With one's body, one can acquire all goals of life, and it is one's parents who give the body birth and sustenance. Therefore, no mortal man can repay his debt to his parents, even if he serves them for a full lifetime of 100 years. Text 6. A son who, though able to do so, fails to provide for his parents with his physical resources and wealth is forced after his death to eat his own flesh. Text 7. A man who, though able to do so, fails to support his elderly parents, chaste wife, young child, or spiritual master, or who neglects a brahmana or anyone who comes to him for shelter is considered dead though breathing. Text 8. Thus we have wasted all these days, unable as we were to properly honor you because our minds were always disturbed by fear of Kamsa. Text 9. Dear father and mother, please forgive us for not serving you. We are not independent and have been greatly frustrated by cruel Kamsa. Text 10. Sukadeva Goswami said, thus, beguiled by the words of Lord Hari, the supreme soul of the universe, who by his internal illusory potency appeared to be a human, his parents joyfully raised him up and on their lamps and embraced him. Text 11. Pouring out a shower of tears upon the Lord, his parents, who were bound up by the rope of affection, could not speak. They were overwhelmed, O king, and their throats choked up with tears. Text 12. Thus, having comforted his mother and father, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing as a son of Devaki, installed his maternal grandfather Ugrasena as king of the Yadus. Text 13. The Lord told him, O mighty king, we are your subjects, so please command us. Indeed, because of the curse of Yayati, no Yadu may sit on the royal throne. Text 14. Since I am present in your entourage as your personal attendant, all the demigods and other exalted personalities will come with the heads bowed to offer you tribute. What then to speak of the rulers of men? Text 15 to 16. The Lord then brought all his close family members and other relatives back from the various places to which they then fled in fear of Kamsa. He received the Yadus, Vrishnis, Antakas, Madhus, the Dasharhas, Kurukuras, and other clans with due honor, and he also consoled them, for they were weary of living in foreign lands. Then Lord Krishna, the creator of the universe, resettled them in their homes and gratified them with valuable gifts. Text 17 to 18. The members of these clans, protected by the arms of Lord Krishna and Lord Sankarsana, felt that all their desires were fulfilled. Thus, they enjoyed perfect happiness by living at home with their families. Because of the presence of Krishna and Balarama, they no longer suffered from the fear of material existence. Every day, these loving devotees could see Mukunda's ever cheerful lotus face, which was decorated with beautiful, merciful, smiling glances. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prasanti Mataji. So let me offer brief place. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishnapasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nimisheshu Nivadi Pasha Destarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're in the section of Krishna recently in the last chapter killed Kamsa, and he personally dragged him from the dais to on the floor. In fact, Jiva Goswami describes when he was dragging Kamsa like that, it formed a canal because he's so powerful, so huge like that. So that Acharya has described, the reason he did that is to assure everyone that Kamsa is really dead. There's no more Kamsa living. So they don't need to live in fear anymore like that. So that is why Krishna was dragging Kamsa through that arena. Then after Kamsa is taken care of, then is described now in this chapter. We're starting with I'll just give a quick summary of today's section. Quick summary of today's section is Krishna meets his parents, consoles his parents, pacifies his parents, has loving exchanges with his parents first, Vasudeva and Devaki in this case. And then after that, he installs King Ugrasena as the king after Kamsa. And then he brings all the relatives and serves Ugrasena king, and they all live happily ever after for a long time. So that's the overall summary of this section today. Now going back to the first verse, Sukadeva Goswami is describing that when the parents Vasudeva and Devaki saw Krishna killing Kamsa, such a huge personality that nobody else could touch even, then they got this mood of awe and reverence. Oh, he is not ordinary boy, he is Supreme Lord like that. That awe and reverence mood was prevailing in the mood of Vasudeva and Devaki. So, Krishna observed that in his parents Vasudeva and Devaki. Then, when he understood, Krishna did not want his parents to relate to him like that by paying Dandavat Pranam, Krishna, please accept our humble obeisances like that. He did not want that awe and reverence relationship between his parents and himself. Instead, he wanted the intense love that they have. And in Vatsalya, they are in the Vatsalya Prema, that means the parental affection mood with Krishna. So he wanted them to carry that mood only, and that mood should dominate their dealings with Krishna like that he wanted. So because he wanted like that, that means he wanted that intimate, sweet dealings as parents deal with his children like that. Meaning that parents should still think that he's a small child, I need to take care of him. He will get hungry, I need to feed him. he needs to get instructions, so I need to teach him. All that, whatever parents want to feel to offer protection to children, he wanted them to feel like that towards Krishna. So now, whenever this awe and reverence mood has come up, then that can eclipse the sweet mood of intimacy between parents and child. So this happens for Vasudeva and Devaki, but not for Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mataji. That's also Acharyas also describe that. So that's the greatness of love of Yashoda Mataji and Nanda Maharaj. Their greatness, their sweet intimate exchanges of love with Krishna can never be affected by any amount of exhibition of greatness by Krishna or anybody telling about greatness of Krishna like that. But in case of Nanda Maharaj and in case of Vasudeva and Devaki, they were momentarily affected by the greatness exhibited by Krishna in this way. So, but Krishna did not want that. Krishna wants intimate dealings. So, what did he do? He employed his internal potency, Yogamaya potency, to bewilder them. That means they forgot that Krishna is exhibited such a great strength just now to kill Kamsa like that. They forgot. They started behaving like an ordinary parent. How they will take care of their regular child, not the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a son like that. So that's what Krishna wants to enjoy pastimes like that. So is helping Krishna to enjoy the pastimes with intimate dealings with his devotees, Vasudeva and Devaki in this case. This is a primary distinction between Yogamaya and Mahamaya. So Yogamaya is the internal potency of Krishna that is helping in Krishna to have intimate loving dealings with his devotees like that. So that is the purpose of Yogamaya. To have intimate loving dealings, Yogamaya is covering the pure devotees. In what way they are covered? So that they forget the greatness of Krishna. That is the covering. It's not covering them so that they don't deal with Krishna, they want to go away from Krishna, they want to enjoy separately from Krishna, not like that. It is helping them to exchange intimate love with Krishna. That is the function of Yogamaya. On the contrary, the external potency of Krishna are called Mahamaya. Its function is to keep us away from Krishna. So that's why when Krishna talks about in Bhagavata, Mama Maya Duratya, so my Maya nobody can overcome, is in the context of the Bhagavata is focusing on the Mahamaya feature of the Lord, the external potency of the Lord. But in that verse it also describes if somebody takes shelter of me, then they can easily cross over it also, this describes. So basically whenever we take shelter of Krishna, then we need not be worried about influence of Mahamaya. We can be assured that Maya, because she is under the control of Krishna, she will cooperate with Krishna and she will facilitate our bhakti, our practice of bhakti towards Krishna. So that confidence we can have. And with that confidence, we can continue to pray to Krishna. Krishna, please protect me from your Maya. Please protect me so I never fall down like that. There was one pastime where one time Srila Prabhupada was asking his devotees, his disciples, what is the difference between you and me? Like, and then the disciples had a wonderful time glorifying Prabhupada. Prabhupada, you are pure devotees. We are just conditioned souls. Prabhupada, you are liberated. We are just ordinary. Like that they are glorifying Prabhupada left and right. They are having good time. Then at last Prabhupada said, there is one difference between you and me. I will never fall down, whereas you may fall down like that, he said. Everybody said, Jai Prabhupada, like that. They were happy to hear glorification of Prabhupada himself like that. Then few minutes after that, Prabhupada went to take the darshan of the deities and he was offering prayers audibly, with little audibly. Then the servant was little bit far away, he couldn't hear the prayer. But he saw Prabhupada was praying. So he took some courage to ask Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what were you praying before Krishna? Like that he was asking. Then Srila Prabhupada revealed to him. I was praying to Krishna, my dear Krishna, you are so merciful. Please let me not fall down like that. Then the servant was bewildered. Prabhupada, just few minutes ago you told us that the difference between you and me is that I will never fall down. Then the servant asked in bewilderment, gently, politely that question. Then Prabhupada answered, now you know why I will not fall down. Because I am praying to Krishna to make me not fall down any time like that. So that is in one sense, humility of Krishna, humility of Srila Prabhupada, and surrender of Srila Prabhupada like that. And uh, nature of taking shelter of a pure devotee in Krishna like that. So we can also never think that I'm so great, Maya can never affect me. I'm so great, I can engage in this dangerous activity, I can engage in that dangerous activity for preaching purpose. It's okay. Krishna will take care of me like that. So we to be always cautious that we are working in the moral framework of society as much as possible so that we remain protected in practicing our bhakti like that. So that is a lesson we can take from here. So two broad understandings we are getting from this verse. One is Yogamaya potency helps in covering pure devotees even to engage in pastimes with Krishna, to engage in intimate pastimes with Krishna. And then on the other side, we are also meant to protect ourselves by taking shelter of Krishna and by being cautious in not getting affected by Mahamaya of Krishna like that. So that is the main lessons we are getting from the first verse of this chapter. So going further, there are very few verses have purports in this chapter, in this section. So we'll go through. It is very simple section. So I highlighted the main theme for this today, which is about Yogamaya potency and the intimate loving exchanges between Krishna and his pure devotees. So going further, Krishna approached his parents Vasudeva and Devaki after they were covered by Yogamaya potency. So they forgot Krishna as Supreme Lord like that. So he went along with Lord Balaram. Both of them went there and they both offered obeisances to his parents and they both gratified them. Sorry. They both gratified the parents. How? By lovingly calling them Mama, Daddy like that. So they said, my dear mother, my dear father like that. So whenever we say our parents with our relationship with them, mummy, daddy like that, or even our grandparents or even our in-laws or relatives, whenever we call them with the relationship that we have for them, it brings them a joy. It brings them a sense of intimacy between us and them like that. So that's why when I notice when my parents speak to my children, they're very happy. When my son and daughter say Nanama, Amama, like that, which is to, relating to them in a intimate way, like that. Similarly, Krishna and Balaram having as they're performing human-like pastimes, they're giving that pleasure to their parents, mother and father, by calling them as such, like that. So that is one thing we are seeing Krishna's intimate dealings with his parents in this verse. In the following verse, Krishna says, my dear father, because of us two sons, Krishna, myself and Balram, you and Mother Devaki always were in anxiety and could never enjoy our childhood, boyhood or youth is describes. So in the Sanskrit, these terms are described as Balya, that is the childhood portion, and then Pauganda, that is the boyhood portion, and then Kaishora, that is the youth portion. There's a huge purport referring to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary that is describing about what this means. First of all, what are these ages, different ages means, like that is describing. And then how Krishna is unconventional, not an ordinary child like that, in terms of growing up, like that also is described. So, the purport describes the ordinary ages for children while they are growing. First of all, the first stage of growth is called Kaumara. That is from birth to 5 years. So, like that. That is a normal Kaumara age. But in the case of Krishna, that same Kaumara age completed soon. Krishna is special, is Supreme Personality of Godhead. His Kaumara age finished at 3 years, 4 months is described by Acharyas. He didn't have to wait for 5 years. So started manifesting symptoms of the next stage of growth, which is Pauganda age. Pauganda age is from 5 years age to 10 years age. In case of Krishna, remember previous age completed 3 years instead of 5 years? Now this one instead of 10 years, it completed in 6 years, 8 months is described. So similarly, next stage of life is Kaishora age, that is 10 to 15 years. In case of Krishna, that Kaishora age completed 10 years itself. So instead of 15 years, waiting for 15 years like that. And then Yavana is normally more than 15 years old. Lord Krishna never went to Yavana age is described in the spiritual world. Spiritual world is always at Kaishora age. So that is a Kishore Kishori is the name of the deity that Sri Prabhupada gave to one of the deities in Chicago temple in Midwest. So also in the purport is described how Krishna grew up at different places at each of these ages. In Kaishora, first age is called Kaumara age. That is till 3 years, 4 months. During that time, Krishna was staying in Mahavana in the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And then next age, which is called Pauganda age, which is normally from 5 to 10, but Krishna completed between 3 to 6 years. They lived in Vrindavan village. And then in the next stage of Kaishwara age, Krishna lived till about 11 years in Nandagram. And then after 11 years, when Akrura came, Akrura brought Krishna and Balram in his chariot to Madhura. That we heard in the previous chapters. How Krishna entered Madhura, how Krishna killed different demons. Finally, we heard in the last chapter how Krishna killed Chanura Mustika and then finally Kamsa also. So that is what happened. That is how Krishna's development stages happened. That's why Krishna is describing as if, because Krishna is already past 10 years, that's why he's saying, you missed my Kaumara age, which is normally till 5 years, but Krishna completed in 3 years. And Pauganda age, which is normally till 10 years, but he completed in 6 years. And Kaishwara age, which is normally till 15 years, but he completed in 10 years like that. So that's why Krishna is describing, oh, it's so unfortunate. This is the empathic communication. Krishna is so empathic towards his parents. Krishna is understanding his parents and relating with his parents. He's saying, oh, you could not enjoy like ordinary parents, the childhood of your children like me and Balaram. Why? That he describes in the next verse, in the 4th verse. He says, because of the fate, we could not live with you and enjoy the pampered happiness most children enjoy in their parents' house. So in the last verse he said, you suffered anxiety because you couldn't enjoy childhood with us. We were with Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda Mataji. They had the good fortune of enjoying the childhood pleasures. Because parents love when children start to grow up, children start to speak, children start to walk. Children start to ask innocent questions like that. So you missed all that pleasure. Not only you missed the pleasure, we also miss the enjoyment of being pampered by parents like that. Like that, Krishna is addressing in 4th verse like that. So we also, next one in fifth verse, now he's telling how five and five, 6 and 7 verses, he describes how every one of us is indebted to parents so much, and because they do so much for us. In, so he says in fifth verse that with this body we can all achieve our goal of life, or whatever goals we have we can achieve with this body. And only parents like you give this body birth and sustenance. Only because of you we got this body. Only because of you we grew in this body. So no one can pay the debt to his parents. Even if we serve for entire lifetime of 100 years. Like that Krishna is addressing his parents like that. So he is essentially saying our duty as children is to serve you as parents, but we are not able to do so. We are not able to serve dharmic principles like that. Like that he is expressing his dissatisfaction over his own conduct in a circumstance like this. In the sixth verse he says, whenever a son cannot provide his parents physical resources and wealth, and he is forced after death to eat his own flesh like that, he will suffer in hell like that. So we need to take care of parents. Krishna is instructing us. Now in text 7, if somebody is failing to support his elderly parents, is not able to give them necessary resources, money needed like that, some sweet words and some shelter like that, to not only parents, to anybody who takes shelter, like chaste wife, to young child, or even to spiritual master, or if he neglects brahmanas, or anybody who comes to shelter, he is considered dead, even though breathing, like that is describing. That means if somebody, we all need to take care of our different dependents, like our parents when they're old, they're dependents to us. Our wife is a dependent to us. Our children are dependent to us. So whoever took shelter of us, we need to take care of them by giving protection, like that Krishna is instructing us. In the next verse he says, we wasted all these days because we were uh, we were not able to properly honor you, because our minds were disturbed because of fear of Kamsa, is saying. Because we are fearful of Kamsa, that's why we ran away to Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva's home. So we could not take shelter of you like a normal child, like that. So Krishna, like this, is bringing normal Vatsalya rasa feelings in Vasudeva and Devaki, so that they can engage in intimate loving exchanges like that. Now he continues in text 7, text 9. Krishna is personally asking forgiveness from his parents. Please forgive us for not serving you. We are not independent. We are frustrated because of cruel Kamsa, like that is describing. So this is another good quality Krishna is personally exemplifying that we can learn. We should not be ashamed to ask forgiveness. We should ask forgiveness whenever we made a mistake, whenever we are not able to act according to the Shastra, according to dharmic principles. We need to seek forgiveness from others like that. Not think, oh, I'm okay, I did it because of this reason, it's okay. Not like that. We seek forgiveness whenever we make a mistake, whenever we are not able to live up to the standard of morality, a standard of dharma that is recognized in scriptures, like that. In text number 10, uh, Vasudeva and Devaki became so joyful hearing Krishna and Balram, seeing Krishna and Balram, evoking their parental feelings, and they kept them on their laps and they embraced Krishna and Balram. Now they were pouring tears of joy on meeting Krishna and Balram with affection. They could not speak, their throats got choked up because they were crying joy of meeting Krishna and Balram again, like this. In the text number 12, now the pastime is moving on from the intimate exchanges between parents and Krishna and Balram to next uh, Krishna puts Ugrasena as the king on the throne again. Remember Kamsa, we heard in previous chapters, Kamsa took down Ugrasena from the throne and he sat on the throne. He became the king. Now, King Krishna is putting Ugrasena back on the throne. Acharya has described this is a demonstration of quality of renunciation by Krishna. That Krishna doesn't want any opulence, even though he killed Kamsa, that the throne belongs to him, kingdom belongs to him, but he gave it to Ugrasena. Not only he gave it to Ugrasena, he told Ugrasena that I will be your personal attendant, serving you. Because I'll be serving you, all the demigods will come and serve you. Like that he's describing. So he's giving him confidence. Don't worry. Everybody will serve you. You can rule as the emperor of this world like that. And then emperor of this kingdom. So not the world, sorry. And then he invites all the family members who went away in fear of Kamsa to different places. He invites all of them to come and stay happily in this kingdom. It's described they did not suffer any kind of material diseases, material sufferings while they're seeing beautiful faces of Krishna every day, like that is described. That's where we end today. So we heard about how Krishna engaged in intimate loving exchanges with his parents Vasudeva and Devaki, evoking their intimate loving feelings for them and expressed his gratitude for them as being parents, and expressed how he could not serve them and he sought forgiveness from them. Like that, he intimately dealt with his parents with their Vatsalya Rasa, and then he moved on to making Ugrasena the king and gave him confidence that he can rule the kingdom, he will serve him. And then he invited all the family relatives to come back to Mathura now that Kamsa is gone. So, and they are all living happily while looking at beautiful faces of Krishna and Balaram. That's where we end today. Tomorrow is another interesting section. We'll hear from Krishna and Prabhuji. Okay, I'll pause here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasinubhyasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you very
Om, Hare
much.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Hare Krishna.
discussion, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you.